Early start, early score for LSU. 64 yards in 2 plays. That's Charles Scott, one of the preacher running back, counted on a bigger role this year. Appalachia's 10. Life is good. LSU played into this growing season. So much sunshine. Meanwhile, USC visit Charlottesville. They're banged up for sure. Sharice Wright, the most questionable in the nursing an abdomen groin injury. He's the best corner on the USC team. He should be good to go. Wyatt Cushing missed most of last season with an injury. Tried to be healthy for his senior year, but he gasped in his wrist. Uriah Harris, another FC defender, was missed some time. He's been practicing with a harness on his shoulder. Again, he's going to need to go. Nothing too serious, but just Wilson Bruce and C.J. Gable. Scary looking injury for you practice. Couple of later, he was fighting back. They say he's their best baller on that team. He should be okay to go. Joe McKnight, that freaky injury, slammed his fingers in a dorm room door that isolated the elbow in practice. So, I mean, a lot of weird stuff. Rocky Mountain spotted fever, hockey, everything in the preseason for USC. And then, of course, that non-contact injury, the dislocated kneecap for Mark Sanchez. He missed about a dozen practices. He was out 17 days, came back from the scrimmage, and looked a little rusty. But Sanchez should be okay, should be, good to go. Aaron Court, by the way, is the backup there. Mitch Mustaine will be the third-string quarterback if they need him. Let's go inside the film room now. Todd McShay visiting Steve Sarkisian to see how they use McShay. I should say, Sanchez in the USC offense. Real pressure situation for young Sanchez. He brings this offense that the last 3 quarterbacks maybe haven't brought.
Well, I think he brings a lot of playmaking ability. There's no question. He has the ability to make plays not only with his feet, but to buy.
Is that what playmaking ability means? Oh, he has the ability to make plays.
First thing that jumps out is a very quick release, his ability to pump fake and get the ball back up in the air quickly.
Great control of the ball.
Very good control, very good speed. The ability to get his feet back underneath him, to stay accurate, to get the ball up and down. This part to me really showed the maturity level that Mark had and his attention to detail. And I think part of that is he prepares very well. We haven't had a guy prepare like Mark in all of our time at any position. And this guy puts in time. He recognized his double bump coverage. He hung with the play. He used his eyes again extremely well to hold the safety in the middle of the field there and receive out from the back. And that was extremely accurate with his throw. It gave Hazelton an opportunity to make the play.
How is his accuracy overall?
It's excellent. It's very good. I think he was a tremendous deep ball thrower. He's a tremendous intermediate route thrower. The one area where we knew he could have been better than where he was last year was in the short games and the accuracy in the short games. What can happen to a young quarterback is your predetermined throws. We're running a couple slants with a bubble screen, and he decided before the snap of the ball that he was going to throw the slant route right in behind here and off of the
Going to the inside receiver.
He's going to the outside receiver, and he just doesn't recognize the corner sitting inside, doesn't see the backer, and instead of pulling that thing down and laying it out here to the bubble, we end up throwing a pick. So, of course, the key for us and the key for Mark is to learn from these things from last year. He has all the physical tools to be a great player. He has the work ethic and the preparation to be a great player. It's just those fine, minor details that are going to take a good player and make him a great player.
That's the fourth start for Sanchez. He was 2-1 last year. Pretty interesting legacy now. Both Carson Palmer and Ben Leonard and then Tony. By the way, all 3 former Trojan quarterbacks gave Sanchez a phone call this week, trying to give him encouragement, get him ready for this game, and especially
Now it's collapsing on him, so it's like a phone booth right now because it's kind of tight. If he's going to his right, because he's right-handed, it's natural for him to go and throw that ball that way because he's open to his right. But if he has the same body position, if he's trying to go down the field or to his left, you can see that his body is still awkward because his foot is firmly planted, and that puts a lot of stress and strain on that joint. It may cause the ball to sail on him or nosedive. So it's very important for him to open up when he's making throws today. Now, I also spoke to an NFL team physician. He told me the problem with this injury is its recurrent rate. It has a 40% chance of happening again. He said he spoke to some NFL physicians at a meeting, and when he asked them if your player had the same injury, what would you do? He told me down the line, 50% said they would rehab it, the other 50% said they would fix it, which means surgery. Obviously, the Trojans have decided to rehab it, so Kurt, we're going to see Mark Fair today against Virginia.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he has not been hit yet since the injury. He's been back practicing, running with the ones, but this will be the first time he's out there taking hits. We're going to keep a close eye on that. As far as the big season, assuming Mark Sanchez is able to stay healthy, you just heard Steve Sarkisian say that this young man prepares better than anybody that we've ever had in any position. Close your eyes. Think of the players that have gone through USC the last 7 or 8 years, and this guy prepares harder than all of them. He's going to be prepared. He's physically talented. My opinion of this USC team is they might be better than any offense we've seen from USC since going back to the Lindale White, Reggie Bush, and Matt Weiner days. This offense is loaded, and I think they jump on Virginia today in a big way. Sanchez will look good, and their defense is sensational.
And there's one little point now, as a former coach, it bothers me a little bit off USC. They lost one guy that's very important to them. They lost a long snapper, a guy named Will Collins. So what does that mean? I lost an undefeated season one time with a bad snap on a punt. I know this to be a fact. If I'm coaching against USC, I put a guy on his nose and I bang them every single time to see if he can do it. The problem Virginia has that the Trojans start off pretty good. They won the last 4 or 5 straight games, 100 openers, 198 to 55. Virginia, football champs.
Cavaliers won a lot of close games last year, but they're rebuilding. A lot of new components to the quarterback against that tough defense. In the Pac-10, we're going to pick games involving UCLA and Tennessee coming up, Cal and Michigan State. The new Heisel era, by the way, beginning for UCLA, a very high-profile game, and the rhetoric is beginning to flow. This is how the LA Times this week. SC fans, take note. The football monopoly Los Angeles is officially over in very big letters here. Over. I don't know. It's a catchy slogan.
Now, it gives me.
Don't write no checks that you might can't cash at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterback injuries, it is a serious injury for Nate Costa at Oregon. He's out for the season. So big old troll Justin Roper, who's not really much of a runner, will inherit Dennis Dixon's job here. The quarterback edge in this game goes to Jake Locker of Washington. The problem is he is surrounded by 10 or 11 freshmen or sophomores starting for Ty Willingham. Very young team, a year or two away. The problem is Ty's on the hot seat this year, and he's got the toughest schedule in the country, and it's all up to the stadium. I don't know. He needs to come out of there with an upset, but I don't know.
And he was playing quarterback. Washington's got a nice offense, but their defense, they gave up an average of 40 points a game the last 5 games. Oregon scores 40 with you at quarterback. I'm telling you, they open up with it.
Indiana Purdue in West Lafayette.
I mean, I've never heard of this. It's a bitter, nasty rivalry. They don't open up the season. I don't agree with that. But I think Oregon, they're going to win this football game because it's at home. But the bigger picture to me is Oregon has the talent to be second-best team in the Pac-10. But without Nate Costa, they're not the team that we saw last year because their dual-threaded quarterback is no longer there. And that'll affect Chip Kelly and Oregon's offensive philosophy this year big time.
Yeah, this is a wild game. It was 31 all entering the fourth quarter before Dixon and the offense just took over. This year it's Jeremiah Johnson expected to run wild for Oregon. The Ducks are playing with emotion this season, and particularly in the opener. They'll be honoring Todd Doxey, the young freshman who tragically drowned in a river this summer. They'll wear number 29 helmet stickers, and each game a different Duck will wear the 29 jersey. Patrick Chung, their excellent rover leader on defense, will be wearing the jersey today in honor of Todd Doxey. We expect Oregon to give his memory proud and win today against Washington. Well, coming up on College Game, we talked about the predictions we'll have. We'll all be counting down the Alabama Clemson prediction.
Yeah, but we have two mascots. I only have one. It's an elephant.